Hello, this is Ariella Carmel, and I'm at Calcalist and Bank Leumi's Tech and Invest conference in Miami. I'm joined by Inna Braverman, CEO of EcoWave Power.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining me. So can you start off by telling me about EcoWave Power?
So EcoWave Power is an innovative company that developed a pioneering technology for generation of clean electricity from ocean and sea waves.
Wow, amazing. And are you based in Miami?
So the company is originally from Israel, from Tel Aviv, but in 2021 we went public on the Nasdaq under the stock symbol WAVE, and as such we wanted to reinforce really our kind of commitment to the US market as well. So we just opened offices here for the first time in Miami.
Excellent. And why Miami specifically? Why not New York or Silicon Valley?
Well, first of all, the weather is great, and it's the most similar to Israel, and there's a lot of Israelis. There's really a happening kind of a startup community. It's becoming really a tech hub. I believe that's the reason also that Calcalist chose to host your event here.
Could be.
So Miami, I think, is an amazing place for business. They have a lot of tax incentives. They have a lot of support for innovative companies. So this is the reason for the choice. Plus, we're also just signed the first deal for a power station in the United States, which will be in the port of Los Angeles, in collaboration and co-investment from Shell, the oil and gas company.
Very cool. And can you tell me a little bit about your projects abroad? You had a new project in Yafo that is upcoming.
So the project in Jaffa is actually very exciting because it's the first time in the history of Israel that wave energy is officially connected to the Israeli national electrical grid. So actually houses next to Jaffa port can turn on their TV or their washing machine using the power of the waves.
Wow.
So it's super cool. And on the 5th of December, we're having our official kind of green ribbon cutting ceremony, official opening of the power station, and we will have Ron Huldai, the mayor of Tel Aviv, and the representatives from the Israeli Energy Ministry, and the CEO of EDF, our partners in the project. Everybody will be talking about this innovation, so I'm very, very excited about it.
Is it the first project of its kind in Israel?
Yes.
Are there similar attempts to utilize this kind of energy?
So no, actually it's a project that received funding from the Israeli Energy Ministry. We received the label of a pioneering technology, and it is indeed the first time in the history that really electricity from waves, from the water, is being transferred to the grid for the general usage.
That's amazing. And so you also have projects all over the world, Taiwan, Portugal. Can you tell me a bit about those?
Yes, so we're very proud of EcoWave Power because EcoWave Power right now is the only company in wave energy field in the world that is actually executing projects. Most of our competitors are still very early on in their R&D stages. They're still in computerized simulation and wave pool testing. EcoWave Power is currently building the third, the fourth, and the fifth project. So right after the Israeli one, we will open the first one in the port of Los Angeles in collaboration with Shell. Right after that, we will open our first Taiwanese project. We just announced the sale of this project in October this year, so less than a month ago. And after the Taiwanese one, we're opening the first commercial wave energy installation in the world, which will be in the city of Porto in Portugal.
And what distinguishes EcoWave's technology from maybe alternative competitors?
What distinguishes it from our field, from wave energy, is that 99% of the competitors in the wave energy field decided to go into the offshore. Offshore is like 4 or 5 kilometers into the sea. So once they chose to install a power station in the middle of the sea or the ocean, it became very expensive and breaks down a lot and difficult to connect to the grid since you're very remote from the coastline.
Right.
EcoWave Power connects to existing man-made structures like piers, breakwaters, jetties. So basically we don't need ships, we don't need divers. Our installation cost and construction cost is super low. And one more thing that is good in comparable to other renewable energy sources like wind and solar, which everybody knows about, is that wave energy is actually the most stable type of renewable energy. So solar energy, in Israel we have a lot of sun, in Miami also, it's amazing, but you have the night, you don't produce anything. You have cloud coverage, winter, you don't produce anything. Wave energy in suitable locations can produce around the clock.
Right, interesting. And is that one of the reasons that you decided to focus on wave energy as opposed to other renewable energies?
I specifically decided to focus on wave energy because I saw that there's a big gap in the market. There's a huge demand for renewable energy. According to the World Energy Council, wave energy on its own can supply twice the amount of electricity that the world produces today. Wow. So can you imagine what a game changer it can be, producing like twice the amount of electricity from a clean source? And I saw that all the companies that were existent when I established EcoWave Power were all super complicated technology, nowhere near commercialization. So I said to myself, if I will be the first one to develop a simple, cost-efficient, reliable product, then I can really change the world for the best. And that's what we're doing.
I'd love to know what inspired you to found this company. I know that you have a really fascinating origin story. Would you mind sharing it with us a bit?
Of course. So nowadays I live in Israel and in Miami, but I wasn't born here. I was born in Ukraine. I was born on the 11th of April, 1986, and 2 weeks after I was born, the Chernobyl nuclear reactor exploded, which is, of course, the largest nuclear disaster in history.
Right.
And I was one of the babies that got hurt from the negative effects of the explosion. My mother approached my crib. She looked down. I was pale and blue and not breathing. And she basically panicked and she said, oh my God, the baby is dead. What do I do? And then she remembered she's a nurse and gave me a mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, which saved my life. So I got a second chance in life. Growing up, I didn't remember any of it. But when I was 4 years old and we immigrated to Israel, every time we had like family meetups and gatherings, everybody would say like, wow, that's so cool. You got a second chance in life. You should really do something good with it. And I really grew up with the feeling of purpose, you know, like, wow, I got a second chance in life. And I truly believe that wave energy, which can produce clean power and a lot of clean power to the world, is a great mission, especially for somebody that's kind of my first chance in life, was taken by not so safe way of producing electricity.
Amazing. Well, it's so important, and best of luck to you. It's a
Thank
really
you.
worthy initiative. And
Thank you so much.
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.